Okay. I have taken 2 demo sessions. Demo session video links are available in the YouTube. You can just go there and you can get it. If someone miss initial session, okay. I have just taken only demo sessions there. There you can get it actually. This is session 1 video available. And session 2 also available there. If someone miss initial sessions, you can just go through there. Okay, 2 demo sessions I have just taken here. I'll just give overview, however. Okay, for complete information, you have to attend this. Okay, overview I'll give. Now I'll give overview before starting the actual session. Just for 2 minutes, just concentrate. First, we have started the concept of Spring Boot introduction concept. Okay, that is going to say that if you are writing any Spring programming, there you are writing code from the beginning. Okay, why you write the code from beginning? There will be some common code will be there. If you take 2 different projects, for example, project online bookstore, project payment application, 2 different applications you are developing using Spring framework, not Spring Boot, Spring framework. Then if you are writing the code, some concepts will be common, like database connection, login, logout, UI design, CUD operations. Okay, these common things you're not going to write in Spring Boot. Spring Boot says such common things we are going to reduce. Okay, so what are the meaning of common things actually here? Some classes, configuration, Spring configuration files, jars, setup, database, servers, plugins, all these are actually reduced. Such a concept is called auto configuration. Auto configuration says reducing the common things, okay, which need not to be done by programmer. How it is actually handling? Okay, Spring, that is Spring team, that is actually pivotal team is there. They used Spring concept internally and created a concept called Spring Boot. This Spring Boot is actually one parent project. The work of this parent project is to provide common lines of code, okay, or common setup, whatever you call here, that may cover 60 to 80% of code. That percentage may vary based on the concept you take here. So as a developer, what you need to do here, you need to create your own project that is actually called child project. This project can be created either using Maven or Gradle. Okay, such concept we actually call as auto configuration, reducing the common setup. Not only this one, even we have some reduced configuration for databases, embedded databases, embedded servers, okay, and microservice overview also I gave here in the last session. Okay, so where exactly Spring Boot applications are used and how they are used. For example, if you take a bank application, okay, SBI bank application, you will be having net banking, mobile banking, okay, so that is tele banking, ATM banking, will be having different, and third party Google Pay specific banking. Okay, all they actually called as clients or front end applications, you can see. Okay, so if you just go through browser, something designed using Angular or React, or your mobile application, Android or iOS, okay, Google Pay, that is called third party. Okay, all these applications are actually called client applications. They actually connected using our backend application, which is designed in Spring Boot. Okay, they actually having layers, integration layer, service layer, you can call business layer, and data access layer. Okay, so data access layer will perform CUD operations using Spring data concepts. Here we have different techniques, JDBC, JPA, MongoDB, Redis, and all here. Okay, service layer, we follow a design pattern that is called POSI, which is used for calculations, transaction management, operations. Okay, so here next layer, integration layer. If you want to make HTTP calls using RESTful services, Okay, that is actually we use here, that takes the request and gives the response. Data will be in the form of XML or JSON. Okay, so there's nothing but client applications will communicate to backend. There will be multiple clients, but backend will be only one. Multiple clients will be connected to one backend. Okay, so that backend is designed here using Spring Boot. Okay, so for that we have seen some designs, even how exactly real-time flow will be, what are the different tools we are using here. Maven, okay, JUnit, logging, Jenkins, GitHub, Docker, PCF, okay, Agile with Jira, all you tools I gave, where exactly this will be. Okay, you can just go through that. Okay, and one more, I just gave microservice introduction here, dividing one big project into small individual projects. Okay, for example, if we take previously, all are actually in one project actually here. Okay, so now we actually divided into multiple modules as projects, and actually placing in different servers and connecting them finally is called microservices. In simple, are decoupled architecture. Okay, how exactly they works and what are the benefits I explained in the video step by step. You can just go through that. Okay, today I'm just starting the introduction session. Okay, these are only 2 demo sessions I gave. You can just go through that. Content is posted, content and examples are posted in my Facebook group, that is diagrams and all. Diagrams, notes, everything is posted in the Facebook group. Okay, this is my Facebook group. There you can get it. If you scroll, you'll get all some recorded video links, diagrams, notes, everything you can get it. Okay, still if you have any other question after the end of the session, you can ask even. Okay, if you have any specific questions also, you can just go through that. Okay, now today I'm just taking the continuation session. Observe carefully. Look at this time here. Okay, today I'm just giving introduction to Spring Boot. Okay, I want to write Spring Boot applications. Remember the first point, what you are writing in Spring, all are there in Spring Boot. That's the first point you remember. What is the major benefit of Spring Boot is actually a simple point. If you want to say here, it's actually RAD, rapid application development, a simple point. Okay, so many people says Spring do like this, Spring Boot don't do like this. Okay, the points all you just keep aside and just maintain a single point, that's called rapid application development. Okay, even you can just develop a normal application using servlets and JSP also. By using simple advanced Java also you can develop. What you can do by using Spring Boot, all you can do by using servlets and JSP, JDBC also. But the point is, number of lines of code will become more, and that is coding time, execution time, okay, and maintenance will become complex. Okay, frameworks will reduce the work. Always remember, developer work will be reduced. Rapid application development means it's a faster coding. We can see here, faster application coding. With a better result here, it is going to be. So in simple, actually, it will reduce the work done by programmer. Okay, just keep this point actually always in the brain. So because if you just compare with other concepts, and here we can do similar things, nothing new, but writing, the way of coding is going to be changed. Some rules and regulations are also going to come here. Okay, first I want to write Spring Boot application here. Then if you want to write any Spring Boot application, there will be 3 files provided automatically. So those 3 files must be there in every project. Okay, I just call them as setup files. If you are writing any Spring Boot application, we need to provide 3 setup files for sure. Okay, 3 common files we are going to mention in every Spring Boot application. What are they? The first one is actually called as starter class. Okay, some people also called as bootstrap class. Okay, in simple, you can call even main class. main method class. Okay, that is only entry point for our programming here when you are executing. Second one is actually called as input files. Okay, this is input file, second one here, that stores the data in the form of key is equals to value given as an input to Spring container. Okay, third one is actually called build file or build information file, we can also call. Okay, in simple we can call build file also. If you are writing any Spring Boot application, remember these three files will be there. Okay, so I'll just give overview of these three files one by one here now. So this is starter class. It's a simple Java class that is having some annotations given by Spring Boot. The work of this Java class is to create a Spring container, do all the setup, what are required for your application execution. Okay, all this it is going to do here. Okay, so in simple, it will start application, create a Spring container, and start application. It is going to create the Spring container. It is going to start the application. In Spring, all objects are created by Spring container only. Either in Spring or Spring Boot, if we take, all objects are created in Spring container only. Okay. So I'll show how exactly container behaves and what are the rules of this one here. I'll just show an overview here. Okay. So now second one, input files. Here we have two input files here. One is actually application.properties, fixed name. Application.properties, or you can use application.yaml. Application.yml. You can use both also. Yeah, I'll explain this completely. Just I'm giving first overview, then I'll start one by one explanation. How it works, what are they, all I'll show here. First one, application.properties or application.yml. You can use both also, then priority is given for properties only. Okay, next one, build information file. Okay, are you going to write a Spring Boot application? Then definitely either you need to follow Maven concept or else Gradle concept. Okay, if you are using Maven, there will be a file created that is called pom.xml. If you are using a Gradle concept here, that is actually build.gradle. Okay, so these are the two different concepts we have here. These are three set of files. Okay, I'll just show first of all folder structure for all this. Then again we'll start with starter class. Okay, we'll start with this one first. Okay, just I'm giving set of files here. If you're writing any Spring Boot application, remember these three files will be common. Okay, so just I'm giving basic overview first. This is a project you are creating. Consider you are creating a project. It's a boot project you are creating. This boot project contains a basic folder system like this that contains three files. One is a Java class with any name that you can create. Second, application.properties or YAML. Okay, then Maven or Gradle. Okay, basic folder system. If you look at here, the first folder will be src, source, main, Java. Folder systems are fixed here like that. It is going to be provided. It's actually Maven or Gradle folder system. Okay, inside that you can just give some package name in.init. Okay, just I'm giving Naresh IT short folder name. It's a package. Okay, there I'm just taking a class that is demo app.java. Okay, it's like here. First of all, this folder is fixed. This is src main Java folder is fixed. Inside that, you can just create one class with any package name. Okay, you can just provide any package name and any class name. I'll show how to write this class here. Okay, that is in.init. It is going to be like this. It is created here. It's a demo application.java. Okay, this actually we are going to call a .java class. The work of this one is to start our application by creating the Spring container. Okay, So that is the first one here. You can see. Second, that I'm just going to show here. So here, second one is actually input file. Okay. Pronunciation we actually call as it's the YAML. Okay. But file extension is YML only. Remember, file extension is YML only in Spring Boot. Okay. So pronunciation we actually call as YAML, but file extension is .yml. This is very important point. Keep it in brain. Okay. Second one here, that is SRC folder will be there. SRC main resources. Okay. There we need to create either a file that is application.properties. Okay. Or just I'm giving application.yml. It's application.yml. Now look at here. And third one, we'll be having some other files also. Okay, third one I'm just showing here. It's a build information file. I'm just taking here. You can just call it a pom.xml or build.gradle. Like this, we'll be having three files. Okay, the first one I'm just calling as a starter class. Second one we can call input files. And third one is actually build information file. Build files in simple. Starter class, input files, and build files. Today, you will understand overview only. What are all this? You will understand overview only. It's an introduction only. I'm just going to give. To understand separately starter class here, it will take so much time. Okay, there will be so many lines of code you need to understand for that. Here, I'll just give overview all one by one here. Okay, let us just go for the first one, starter class here. What is the starter class and what is the work of this one here? I'm just showing here. Yeah, these diagrams and notes I'll post in my Facebook group after the session completed. From there, you can get it. Okay. Now observe here, starter class. Always remember, if you're working with Spring or Spring Boot application, the most important thing is actually Spring container. Okay. The work of the Spring container here is to create the objects for the required classes. If you provide the classes, this container is actually predefined program here that is going to create the objects, and it is going to provide the data. We can also call it inject, linking the objects, and finally destroying the objects. Okay. Before destroying, you have to use those objects. At the time of stopping the servers or containers, it is going to destroy the objects. Okay. In simple, actually, it's a predefined program we can call. Okay, it's a predefined application Spring that works with a memory. What it is going to do here, observe, create object to detected classes. Okay, and those must be non-abstract class. Okay, it should not be an interface here, because interface and abstract classes we cannot create objects here. Remember, okay, step one, it is going to detect the class and it is going to create the object. So in simple, creating the object to detected classes, I just mentioned here. Okay, so here, next one, it is going to provide data. We can also call in simple actually inject, provide data to objects. Okay, like it's providing ID, link, driver class name, okay, service code, server number, like that. It is going to provide the data to objects. Finally, it is going to link one object with another object. It is going to link the objects based on has a relation, we can call based on has a relation. That is very important. Association mapping we call. Next, after linking the objects, what it is going to do here, finally destroy the objects here. Destroy the objects. Okay, it is going to destroy the complete objects here while stopping application. or server. Okay, here. Now understand how it is going to look and what it is going to do. Just I'm giving. The first one we are discussing about starter class. The work of the starter class is to the first point, creating the Spring container here. Okay, starter class, our main method class is going to create the Spring container here. So how that is going to be done? Just observe here. Look at, consider this is Spring container. It's like a program, a predefined program. It's like a memory. You can just, if you want to compare, you can just compare with your JVM. Okay, so but it will be on top of JVM. Okay, on top of JVM, Spring container will be there. JVM, if we just give Java code as an input, it will do remaining actually. Here, Spring container work is auto detect the class and create the object, destroy the object here, and it's only providing the data. Okay, just look at this one. I'm just giving the overview here. It's a Spring container. Okay, consider Spring container is actually designed. Now, what it is asking a programmer? Okay, I'll just create the objects. Do you have any classes written? Okay, programmer says, yes, I have classes here. They actually called as Spring Bean. Okay, you can't write the class however you want. There are some predefined rules available. Okay, you have to follow the rules actually. A Spring Bean is a class, okay, that follows the rules given by Spring container. Okay, what are the rules given by Spring container? It has to follow here. Okay, if you don't know these rules, I'll explain in the next session. You can just go through. As of now, just remember, it will be almost similar rules like a Java Bean rules only. Public class, private variable, default constructor, set get methods, toString methods. Okay, and also Spring annotations. Okay, and Spring interfaces. We can just follow some extra things will be there. I'll show that. As of now, remember some rules like a Java rule actually. That is Java Bean rules actually here. Okay, write some public class. Okay, so write some private methods like that. It is going to give you some rules. Okay, if you don't follow those rules, container will never create the object. Okay, this class must be written by developer. Okay, I'll give some examples for those also. Second one, bring a configuration file. The config file in short format. Spring configuration. Configuration we used to write in three ways: XML, Java, and annotation. Okay, it's actually Java with annotation. For learning purpose, I separated here. It's a Java with annotation. Here, three configurations are there. Okay, but XML configuration is 0. It's not used in Spring Boot. Okay, so but it is there in Spring actually. In Spring Boot, XML configuration is not there. Okay, so we can say the most major point what exactly available in Spring and what is removed actually in Spring Boot actually is XML here because of its working flow and its nature here, sax parsers, dam parsers. Okay, Spring Boot has actually completely they removed and they made somewhat faster here. XML is very slow process actually here. Okay, that's completely gone. Okay, and that is only very typical to learn. Java and annotations are very easy compared to XML. Okay, we have to learn DTD, XSD, sax parser, DOM parser. All this headache is gone now. Okay, Spring Boot actually 0 configuration. That to XML also 0. Okay, XML also 0. It's completely gone actually here. It's not there. Okay, this Java and annotation here that I am going to show here. Okay, Rajat Gopal, still I did not come to YAML. Okay, I'll just explain this also here. I'm just coming in the order, all one by one. I'll show overview today, not to worry. Okay, by the end of the session, you will come to know overview of these three files. Okay, first I have started the starter class. Okay, this is the bootstrap class. Let me finish this, then I'll come to second one also. Okay, still if you have questions, you can just note down. At the end, I'll give some time to everyone. You can ask also. Okay, so first starter class we are writing. The work of the starter class is to maintain the Spring container here like this. Now what container will do, here you wrote classes, right? And you wrote configuration. By taking these two, container will create the object, creating the object, database connection object, security object, okay, some server configuration object, connection pooling specific objects, like all the objects container only creates. Next, to provide the data, something like driver class name, URL, username, password, like we'll be having some data provided to these objects. Okay, I'll show how this data will come actually. So from properties actually we have to take, but as of now, like this. Based on the requirement connection, one object is linked with another object. Based on the design, blindly not all connected here. Based on the design, they are actually linked. Okay, never think that all objects will be interconnected. That depends on the relations. Okay, mostly 90% yes, but not all. Okay, based on the relations we call hazard relation or association mapping, we call is and hazard relations will be there. Okay, one object will be linked with another object. Okay, it's actually providing the data. Remember this providing data. For that we come to second step. Okay, again. Okay, next, finally, at the last, are you stopping the application? Yes. Then at the time of stopping the application, container will be destroyed. Meanwhile, it can be used. Okay, up to this done, application started. Application started, it is done. Okay, then application stopped, it is actually destroyed. Now the point of coding here. Okay, now I want to write a starter class. Okay, then how it is going to be? Are we going to write a starter class? Actually no, but you should have a knowledge over this. Okay, sample code I'm just giving here. Observe carefully. Okay, there I'm writing a simple code. You write first of all any class with your any name. Just I'm writing public class, something like actually my app starter. Just I'm writing like this. Class name can be any name. That's your interest here. How you write main method in Java, generally here also same. Public static void main. Just I'm writing main method. Just like this I'm writing here. Okay, now here we need to apply one annotation here, and we need to write the code here. At the rate Spring Boot application. This is the annotation we need to write. Okay, this annotation internally follows so many things actually. Auto configuration, component scanning, configuration. Okay, so like we'll be having package loading, so many will be there here. Just I'm giving sample code. Okay, inside this we are going to write one line, that is Spring application dot run. Okay, it's the predefined class that is having a static method called run. Spring application dot run here. It takes two parameters, your class name, whatever the class name you write here, dot class, and second one is actually args. Okay, again I'm saying here, this code we will not write. This is automatically generated when you're using the tool, but sample overview looks like this. What is the advantage of this one is, as of now, I'm just mentioning here, it will create the Spring container and it will start the application. It is going to start the application here. That's why name is given as a starter class. Name is given as a starter class here. Okay, so that is actually Spring container is created. Spring container is created, and it's a sample code here. Okay, again I'm writing, observe carefully. It's a public class. Okay, something like a demo app. Okay, there we have to write a main method here. Public static void main. Okay, there I'm just writing one annotation here. At the rate Spring Boot application. Okay, there I'm writing here. It's a Spring application dot run method. Static method will be there here. Here take the class name here. Dot class comma args. Like this it is going to be. Okay, so if you debug this one, it will be having so many lines of code internally. Okay, but as overview today I just gave as a Spring container. Okay, once we start the coding point, I'll completely debug this line step by step. What it is happening I'll show. Okay, and remember here, if you just come to know about Spring containers, okay, there are actually two types of containers available. Okay, two types of containers are available. The first container is actually called as, that is bean factory. Okay, that is actually called legacy container. We can call simply old container. Actually here bean factory is an old container. Okay, there is a new container system used actually, that is application context. Okay, application context, it's also interface here. It's a new container. Okay, Spring Boot completely uses new container system only here. Whatever the container is created, this Spring container, remember this actually application context. Okay, this is a completely new container. Okay, Spring application that's actually application context is actually called container type. This we actually call as new container. Okay, this new container only supports Java and annotation configuration. Of course, XML also, but Spring Boot removed. Bean Factory works only with XML configuration. It works with XML configuration actually. Okay, where application context works with XML, Java, and annotation configuration, but in Spring Boot, XML removed. XML removed actually in Spring Boot, it's not there. Completely Java and annotation configuration only we use. Okay, so this is just overview of starter class. It will create the container. Okay, but programmer, it says programmer, you write the classes, you write the configuration. If you write these classes and configuration, then only I'll create the object and I'll provide the setup and all. Okay, so here how starter class, this class looks like a sample, one annotation and one line, but it is only going to have so many points internally. This annotation and this line will be having so many things actually here. Okay, this run method is going to create the application context. This run method is going to create the application context. We can also call it new container. Okay, later I'll just debug this code and I'll show here. Now coming to second point, that's we can call input files. Okay, we just said here objects created. Okay, and for that objects we provided the data. Okay, it's a data we provided here. How to provide the data here? Okay, for example, your objects contains variables. For those variables we need to provide the data. Assumption is a connection object, database connection object, driver class name required, URL required, username required, password required. For these are all variables, how to provide the data. Spring container says, yeah, I'll take the data from input files. Okay, which stores the data in the form of key and value. That is to provide the data. Okay, container supports reading the data from input files here. Okay, we have two input files. Okay, input files we have two. One is properties and second one is YAML. Okay, application.properties are YAML here. Okay, first understand why these are used. These are used to provide data to Spring container objects. Okay, if you want to provide the data to Spring container objects actually as the input data here in the form of key and value. In the form of key and value, if you want to provide here, then we can go for the concept of input files. Okay, these key values actually are two types. Okay, whatever the key values that you are writing actually here are simply keys. Okay, simply keys are two types. Okay, one is actually here, that is again, it's a predefined keys. Predefined keys. And second one is actually programmer defined keys. Okay, predefined keys and programmer defined keys. Okay, predefined keys, that means you have to follow as usual names. Okay, so whatever they given here, and you have to follow the same. These predefined keys only we are going to write mostly in our project. More than 95% of keys in your project will be predefined keys. Very rare scenario we can call something like 5% of keys will be or programmer defined keys. These predefined keys you don't buy hard. You can just go to internet and just type there Spring Boot application.properties. Just type like this and the first link. There you can just copy this link. I'm just providing here. In this link, you will find all predefined keys. Let me show some example here. These are the different types of keys are there. Core, cache, mail, JSON, data like this here. Okay, just click on any one option. You can see all specific keys. Okay, temporarily just I'm showing one Spring dot data source dot driver class name. Like this we have. It's a predefined key. Okay, this key only you have to write. If you write other key, no, it won't work actually. That treats something I don't know, it says actually. Are you writing something like database connectivity program? Okay, just I'm writing one small example, concentrate here. How does it look here? That file name is application.properties. Okay, application.properties here. Now here I'm just taking the key here, spring dot data source dot driver class name is a key. That's actually key here. Okay. In this, we are going to provide value here. Value I'll mention later. Like this, we need to mention the key. Okay. Even we'll be having some other keys here. Driver class name. We have something like a URL. Okay. Next one is like a username. And next one is like a password. Okay, like this, we'll be having predefined keys. You have to specify, because remember why we have to write this key. You may ask question here, why should we write? In Spring, you are writing the connection program. In Spring Boot, it's a predefined code is predefined. In the predefined code, they are using this key. So you have to pass this key. Understand the point? Understand the point here. Okay. You are the developer. You are the developer. Are you writing a Spring application, a Spring framework you are doing? Okay, this code you are only writing. Okay, so for this code, you can give input. There you can write your wish, any key and value you can write to pass the data. That's your interest here. That's fine. Okay, that you can just pass whatever you want to follow here. Okay, so but remember, you are following a predefined. Okay, Spring framework said like this, but Spring Boot said no. This time code you don't write it. Code is written by Spring Boot only, not programmer. They said, okay, we follow one standard naming rule. You have to write the same file name. You can't write another. Okay, application dot properties must be same. Okay, so slightly we can going to change by using some profiles or some loading files. Slight naming changes will come, but as of now it's a fixed application dot properties, and there you write the key, and this key is already used in this code. This key is already used in this code, and the value you have to give here. So this key also fixed. This key also fixed because you are not writing the code. Code is already written. Okay, something I just said here, class something like connection. Some connection is created here. There I'm writing DC is equals to, I'm just writing get key of, just I'm writing, okay, something like spring dot data source dot connection, SDC assumption. Okay, I said this code I wrote, you pass only SDC. Okay, you have to write S dot D dot C is equals to some value. No, I'll write something else, take it means no, because code is using internally this key. You have to write the same key, then only it will take the value. So those keys are actually predefined. Okay, file name also predefined. It's a fixed name you have to follow. Okay, location you should follow the location rule also like this. Okay, so that is actually under project SRC main resource. Their application dot properties will be there here. Okay, like this you have to write. Okay, this is called predefined keys. You'll be having so many predefined keys, not one or two here, based on the concept requirement here, based on the security. Okay, there are so many predefined keys are there. For example, in Spring, server configuration you need to do, but in Spring Boot, it will show as embedded. Okay, so that embedded server works with a port number 8080. You can see here, there is a port number given. It's a predefined. Of course, you can change this. This value you can change. Again, you have to write server dot port is equals to some value. Okay, you can change the value here. Okay, when you work with any server, by default, it will allocate value actually 200 threads. Okay, that's actually going to allocate actually by default 200 threads actually here. Okay, the number of threads for actually server. Okay, so for example, you have Tomcat server. Okay, Tomcat server, you place the application and it's actually started execution. Okay, Tomcat server will allow maximum 200 requests parallelly. Okay, if it's a more than that, then it should be waiting state. You can increase or reduce this value. Of course, that is server configuration. If you just modify, you need to even modify your hardware configuration also. Okay, RAM and CPU level should also be increased. Tomcat server thread max, that is 200. Okay, like there will be so many properties we see one by one once we go to programming levels here. I'm just showing here, there will be n number of predefined key values will be there. Okay, predefined keys will be there. Values, that's your interest. You write whatever the value, that's fine. And value can also be changed with the default even. Okay, these are the keys. Example, if you want me to write just one example here. Okay, something like it's a MySQL driver or Oracle driver. Okay, just I'm writing it's a driver. It's a old driver. You'll be finding CJ new here. Okay, it's a URL JDBC colon MySQL colon. It's a local host, something like a test database, and username is a root and password is a root. Okay, this is called properties file. Okay, these are provided as an input to container. Understand? Whatever the file you are writing, that we actually calling as application.properties. Application.properties, which contains the data in the form of key is equals to value that is given as an input to Spring container. Okay, whatever the object is required, that is going to read the data based on the key value names. Okay, it's an input to Spring container objects. First, container will detect this file. Okay, from this location only. Then file name also fixed here, and it is going to read the data to objects, required objects. It's actually going to read the data here. Okay, that is second one, that is application.properties. Okay. Now, next one here, same file can be written in short format. A convenient way by removing the duplicate words. Spring.data source. Spring.data source is there, right? Like we have duplicates. Okay. YAML is actually a technique of writing actually. There is no YAML concept in Java. Okay. YAML is actually a new concept introduced in Spring Boot only. Okay, properties is there from beginning of Java. Okay, Java JDK programming, if you learn, there we have different types of collection, list collection, set collection, map collection, like properties also there, java.util.properties. But YAML is actually new concept added in Spring Boot only. It's a convenient way of writing key values actually, removing the duplicate levels. Spring is duplicated, you can see. Data source is actually duplicated here. It's a convenient way. Okay, even though you write YAML structure, there is an API available, Snake YAML, which finally converts into property structure only. Okay, just I'll show some overview of this YAML here. But to learn YAML, there are n number of rules we have. We have to learn them later one by one. Okay, application.yaml. I am just writing Spring. Okay, we have to write Spring in place of dot. Write some colon. Dot is replaced with colon. Take a new line. Okay, as of now, just take 2 spaces or 3 spaces. That's your interest here. Later, data source. There I'm showing here. Again, some spaces. Then driver class name. Okay, no is equals symbol, colon, and 1 space. URL. Again, same level here, just 1 space, which looks like this. Okay, username. And next one is actually password. It's a root. Like this it looks. Don't worry what is the structure and all here. Just today, observe here how I wrote. Okay, we have to learn so many rules. Okay, if I start explaining only YAML, it will take actually 3 days. Okay, that is total 6 hours required to learn only just overview of YAML. It will take so much time. Now it's a demo. I can't explain everything here. So I'm just giving overview how it looks actually. We are going to learn separately step by step. Okay, just YAML is a convenient way of writing the properties without writing the duplicate words. As of now, just remember here, and symbol dot is not used here, colon is used, is equal to is not used, actually colon is used. Okay, so this is, even though you write YAML format, Finally, Java understands only properties here, again converted to property structure only here internally. That is actually called snake YAML. There is the API that will convert. Okay, pronunciation we call YAML. Okay, YAML is a format used to store data in key value pair without duplicate levels, duplicate words as of now. Simple here, uses symbol colon, uses symbol colon. Okay, in Spring Boot, snake YAML API is used that converts YML file to properties format. Okay, Java understand only properties. Okay, even if you just go to DevOps sections or AWS, some configuration inputs are given YAML. Okay, that's why this YAML concept is added in Spring Boot also here. Okay, regarding this YAML, we'll see later rules here, how many spaces we have to give, what is this level concept, what is similar levels, what are duplicate levels. We are going to see them later here. As of now, just giving as an overview. Okay, these are all predefined keys only, I just mentioned here. Even we can write programmer defined keys, something like project.title is equals to, or application.version is equals to. If you want to write your own keys also will be there, but I can call almost less. Programmer defined keys will be less in real time. Okay, predefined keys only more. Okay, because code they will write. Remember, again I'm saying Spring Boot and Spring difference. Spring framework, complete lines of code and configuration and setup, everything your duty only. Spring you are using everything your duty only. Spring Boot, majority of the percentage is given by Spring Boot only. Okay, that is only called auto configuration. But they says, hey, I am writing the code, right? Yes, you are only writing the code. Then programmer, please follow my rules. Okay, if you follow these rules, then I can take care of this code. I said, okay, fine. You are writing my code, right? That's okay. So I'll write what to do. Write the file name like this. Can I change? No, no, no. You have to write like this only. Okay, next. Keys, write like this only. Can I change? No, they actually predefined. Okay, if you want, you can use your own, but you have to follow this predefined keys because it is writing the code, and we have to follow here. Okay, previously we are writing the code, then it is fine. Whatever the key name you write here, so whatever the properties file name you write here, that's okay. This time it is just reducing. If you want to follow the implementations, you have to do like this. Okay, so here observe, if you do like this, even container will take care of objects creation, handling, and destroying everything here. Okay, that is called second one, that is input files. We can call here application.properties or application.yml. Pronunciation we actually call as YAML. Okay, pronunciation we call as actually YAML. Okay, so here next third one file overview I'm just giving here. It's a build information file here. Okay, that's actually Maven or Gradle. Okay, build information file Maven or Gradle. Okay, so are you writing a project? Yes. First of all, what are required is actually jars, predefined jars, Spring jars, Hibernate jars, web service jars, Spring Boot jars. Any project you are writing here, first we need jars. Okay, jars of something like Hibernate, servlets. Okay, Spring Boot. Okay, all these different types of jars will be there. Those jars are taken care by either using Maven or Gradle. The first thing is actually jars. Okay, second is actually a folder system. Standard folder system is given. Okay, whatever the folder system that you are following, even some extra folders also will come, that I'll explain later. Some test folders will come for unit testing. Okay, and even some Maven dependencies, JRE system library, some extra things will come that we are going to see at the time of Maven introduction. Okay, some jars of the project here, and even it handles the folder system. Okay, and some plugins it is going to provide here. Plugins, jar plugin, var plugin, okay, compiler plugin. We'll be having so many here. We'll see those plugins later here for our project. Let me just explain a small example, compiler plugin. Okay, if you want to work with JDK 8, okay, then JDK 8, Java 8 plugin should be added through Maven. Are you working with JDK 14? Yes. Then compiler plugin should be added. Not only download and install, Maven plugin should also be there. Okay, because our Maven only is going to convert the project into a particular jar or var format here. Okay, so here that is going to have some goals, Maven goals and phases will be there. Phases and goals will be there actually here. Okay, so there will be something like different goals will be having, mainly category into 3. Okay, we are going to see that goals also later here. Okay, if you don't know, I have already taken a session over the Maven concept. I'll just give that video, you can just go through that. As of now, just I'm giving, I wrote the code. That code must be compiled. After compile, that should be converted, that should be tested by using JUnit. After testing, that should be packed, nothing but convert into .jar or .var. After pack, that should be placed into server and started. That is called deployed. Okay, like this, we'll be having so many things here. Okay, like clean, that is actually compile test, we'll be having so many. Okay, like this, in this format, I just want to do some work. Convert our .java to .class, execute the JUnit test cases, okay, and convert into .jar or var, place in the server and start. Some phases and goals will be there, Maven phases and goals, all it is going to take care. Okay, if you open pom.xml or build.gradle, what it contains. Okay, first one, always our project internally connected to parent project. Are you writing a program in Spring Boot? That is actually called as child project. That is actually called as child project. Remember, your project is called child project, must be connected to Spring Boot application that is called parent. Okay, this parent only reduces the common code. That is only called auto configuration. It reduces your work. So it contains pom.xml contains parent project details. Parent project details. Second one, okay, this actually contains child project, means your project details. Okay, C, it contains some properties like JDK version. Okay, there's also got some plugins we are going to mention, right? So JDK version, Spring Cloud version. Okay, some version details it will be maintaining here. Next, dependencies. We can also call jars required for project. Okay, and next we'll be having dependency management. We can also call jars with version management. We can also call. Okay, it's like another type of project here, dependency management. Already if parent is there, you want to add one more parent, generally not possible. Then we go for dependency management. Okay, next here, we'll be having the concept of, okay, that is actually build information. That is called build plugins will be there. That build plugins are used to convert our code to the last file actually here. That's actually packing jar or var format. If you want to convert here, then we actually use the concept of build plugins. Like it will be having internally here all these details. Don't worry, you won't get all in one day. Just I'm giving overview here. It takes some time. Okay, so here this actually build information file overview. Okay, just I'm showing overview of these all files, generated code, how it looks. Okay, we are going to discuss every concept as a separate chapter. Just I'm giving as overview here. Just concentrate. I'm just using STS tool. That setup also I'll provide. Okay, whatever I explained so far, just I'm showing overview how the looks like. These three setup files we are not going to create. These are auto generated here when you create any Spring Boot application. Okay, I'm not showing all this flow and all. Directly I'm just creating my flow here. I'm not explaining all this. Later we are going to see one by one here. What are all this we need to do? Okay, first look at the folder structure here. important files only I'm just explaining here. You created one Spring Boot application, then you see something like src main Java and some package name and one class .java created. Let me open this and see. Okay, don't worry about these lines, we'll explain. We'll see one by one all. Now look at, write one class name, @Spring Boot application, public static void main, Spring application dot run. I'll show the internal code of this run method later. We'll see one by one, step by step. Control click, control click. There is a lot of logic is there that we'll see here. Okay, we'll see that later. All this logic here. Okay, look at whatever the code file I gave sample here. Starting, that is only similar. Class name is slightly changed here, but remaining. I did not write this. It is generated. What is the work of this one? Remember, simple point: creating the Spring container and starting the application. Second, input files. By default, properties created here as empty file created. You can write the key values. Look at second one, src main resource. Okay, application dot properties. There you can see here. Let me just double click on this one here. See, it's a empty. Okay, so if you want to write any key values, yes, you can write it here. Okay, so I said if you want to get any predefined keys, actually, you can just go through the link I given here. Okay, you can just go through the link given and you can copy paste, or else come here and press control space. Control space, all the keys you can see here also. Internet connection required, control button and space button. Okay, there I'm writing Spring dot. Okay, here Spring dot data source dot. It's showing all possibilities. Driver, see, it is showing all possibilities here. Press enter. Like this, you can just get it here also. Control and space, you can just press. You can get all the key values. Okay, YAML is not there. We'll see that. And last here, pom.xml in case of Maven, or build.gradle here. Now, if you look at this file here, it's a pom.xml created. I just created as a Maven here. Open this pom.xml here, and you can see there, it's a parent tag. Okay, it's a Spring Boot parent. It's a parent tag. And second one, it's your project. Actually, it's a dummy project, our child project details. And properties, parent tag, child project, properties. Next one, dependencies, jars. All this dependencies, jars. These are all jars. Okay, next, dependency management. This is optional. It's not there as of now. Once we go to cloud, it is going to come. Okay, build plugins. It's a build plugins. You can see like this is a overview. Okay, every file will be automatically generated. You are not required to work on your own, but you should know that these three files are there. Okay, these three files are there, that you should know this here. Okay, so this is just overview. That's called introduction session I just gave. Okay, we need to work on one by one concept here. Okay, we are going to start first of all with properties and YAML coding point here. Once it is completed, then we come to starter class. Then it is completed. Then we come to Maven and Gradle. Like one by one, we are going to learn. Okay, so this whatever I'm just going to teach in this. Okay, there is a content available in the Facebook group. We have posted the content. Okay, complete, that is content is posted. Okay, so in this session, what I'm just going to take here. Okay, here you can see PDF, Spring course content. Okay, if you did not get this content, if you're unable to access here, please go through my Facebook group. In that, you will be finding. Okay, I have just posted on August 28. Okay, August 28, I have posted just 4 days back. On demo session 1, I have just posted here. Okay, you can just go through that. Okay, and if you want to watch my other videos also, okay, few concepts are there. Okay, just you can go to YouTube and just type Raghu Naresh IT. Okay. Okay, you will get all my playlist here. 36 videos are there. Okay, you can just go through them also. JUnit videos are there, Log4j sessions, Maven sessions, real-time project overviews. Okay, Spring Core sessions. Some people might not be having complete clarity, so for them, I just taken Spring Core sessions also. Okay, if someone is attending these classes, okay, for them it will be really benefit to you. Spring Core sessions will be really benefit. Maven session, GitHub session is there, Redis Cache, Data JPA, Docker programming, JWT. Okay, how many you can just go through that? You can just do it. That's your interest. Okay, this is playlist link also. I'm just updating here. Interested people can just go through here. Okay, there you will get the tools almost here overview. You will get the tools. Okay, that's actually it is going to have clarity. That's overview here. Okay, so I'll give some complete soft copies also. Okay, even I'll give some complete soft copies. If you can just go here and you can download also in my Facebook group. Announcement is there right on top. There is one announcement. It's a PDF, links are there. If you just click on this, text file will be downloaded. That's having a link. That link contains advanced Java material, Hibernate material, Spring and Spring Boot. Whether you join this batch or not, that's your interest. Complete documents are there. Even I'll give some extra also. Everyday class notes, some diagrams. As of now, I'll post in Facebook group. Later, I'll give separate drive link. There I'm going to take everything step by step. Okay. Now, if you have any questions, you can ask one by one using chat. I'll answer. Okay. Now you can ask any questions if you have one by one using chat. You can ask. Okay. Faninder asked, okay, what is a good practice to use YAML or properties? Okay, as of now, I say both. Okay, if it is a lengthy configuration, lengthy properties file, YAML is recommended. YAML is recommended if your property is very lengthy. Are you going to provide study materials for course after the batch? Yes, of course, Rohit. Before only I'll give. Okay, will you teach Gradle also? Yes, Aryan, I'll give Gradle also. Okay, Rajat, I don't use Facebook, sir. Okay, send an email to me. I'll just give it to you. Send an email to me. I'll give it to you here. What is Agile methodology? Dharmendra, one video is there, Agile methodology. It is a software methodology. Once you join to company, they'll follow some process, right? First do like this, second do like this. Okay, that process is actually called a software development life cycle. Okay, did you listen that term anytime? One of the software development life cycle is Agile methodology. Okay, that video also there, you can just go through that. However, I'll take a separate session for you. Okay. Pankaj struts is out. Okay, you can just use Java 8 and STS3, not an issue. But I just use complete latest version. Versions I'll give tomorrow. Duplicate properties. Okay, data source. Okay, because duplicate concepts we work once we program started. If we give duplicate keys, second key will be taken as a priority. Yes, Jagadish, we are going to learn both standalone and web application. Siri, if you want notes, you only send email to me. I can't send individual. If you send email by asking that requirements, I'll give reply back to that. Fresher need this learn concept. Okay, Shubham, if we are going to work on Java, either you are a fresher or experienced candidate, these are all nowadays required, sir. Such any DevOps and AWS faculty. Pawan, please send an email. I just give the details there. Can you teach Docker also with Spring Boot? Yes, I'll teach Docker also. Okay, 3 important concepts in the Docker I'll teach. But attend even DevOps or AWS, that will be really good. Are you conducting any other Java projects course? How this course different from that? Project means completely hands-on experience. That's actually going to be a separate batch. As of now, you are not eligible. Later, I'll show that. What is plugin in pom.xml? Okay, plugins are used to add some extra requirements actually. Okay, if you want to do compilation, compiler plugin. Okay, if you want to convert your jar, your project into jar or where, there will be where plugin. Okay, that video will be there. You can just go through or wait until I explain. Are you going to explain web service also? Yes, I'll provide complete web service. You need not to have any knowledge over that. Spring Boot web service, I'll explain. Software's applications, do we need to download? No, Rajat, I'll explain all those. Okay. Mahesh, I'll explain Docker basics, all which are required for Spring Boot. Separate Docker, if you want to learn, you can just go to DevOps. I am 0 in Spring. Can I attend Spring Boot directly? No, you are not eligible. At least you should have some Spring Core knowledge, minimum knowledge. Just go through my videos, which are given in playlist. Interview questions provided with the concept explanation. Yes, along with the concepts only, there only I'll ask. Okay, how much boot concepts required to learn microservice? In Spring Boot, actually, there are 4 important concepts are there: REST programming, okay, client programming, database communications, okay, and basic setups. Those, if you're done, you can just directly microservice. Which version you are using, sir? Okay, latest version only. Old version we can't explain. Yeah, it will be slow only. Sessions will be slow only because around 160 students are attending. They have to understand. Okay. YAML is never going to impact the performance. Actually, it's a one-time setup, right, Srinivas, which is executed again and again. There's a performance. One-time setup is never called performance. That is called application execution time and downtime. Can I get recorded videos? No, recorded videos are not provided. Okay. Okay. If you miss the initial sessions, you can just go through these links actually. I'll provide running notes and study material, both I'll give. Okay, I'll take 3 months duration. Okay, if you watch these videos, you will get it. 3 months duration, fee payment is 5,000. Yeah, web service also I'll cover in this only. Hibernate is not covered in this course. Data JPA is covered. Are you going to provide exception handling in Spring Boot? Omkar, yesterday only I just taken a video. You can just go through that if you want. Or else you have to wait until your turn comes in your batch. Will you explain Kubernetes and CI/CD Jenkins pipelines? Yes, overviews I'll give. Okay, but full length, if you want to learn, you have to go to DevOps. I'll just give how exactly they used using Spring Boot. Only Spring Boot. Angular integration are you going to provide? Yes, I'll provide Angular integration. I want to teach Angular. Again, I'm saying Angular integration I'll teach. Okay, payment gateway, are you going to provide integration? That is a separate mini project I'll teach. You can just go through that, not in your course. Maven would be covered in details or not? Yes, definitely, from the beginning to end. RESTful also are you going to cover in this batch? Yes, definitely. How many sessions? 3.5 months. Course duration, 3.5 months. Web service separate you need to learn. That's your interest. But I'll cover here. Will you be covering Spring Cloud? Yes, Spring Cloud also will be there. Number of sessions, that 3.5 months around. Okay. Shaikh, pom.xml is a build information file. That's actually if you wanted to complete project folder system management, jars, setup, then we use actually Maven. Application.yml, get the configuration from CCM. Siri, can you explain your question clearly? Yeah, JDBC template also I'll give. That's Spring JDBC that is called. Okay, it's a 1.5 month. It is going to, it will take 2 months for Spring Boot, 1.5 months for microservice and deployment. How to make payment? Payment details I'll give later. Okay, you can just go through now. Yeah, JDBC I'll provide. Mongo database I'll provide. Agile and Jira also I'll explain. You can just attend the later session. Where to use Maven or Gradle. Okay, that depends company standards actually. Architecture will decide whether you use Maven or Gradle. You should be perfect in both. Okay, some people uses Maven only still. Some people use Gradle only still. Okay, that depends. But I'll explain both. I'll show JUnit test case with Mockito how to test only Spring Boot applications. I won't struts. I won't teach, sir. I'll cover only Spring Boot. YAML and properties. Okay, YAML is a convenient way of writing the properties by reducing the duplicate levels of keys actually here. Abhinandan still not confirmed. I'll talk to admin. Gradle course will take actually after a few sessions. I'll take it. JUnit with mock. JUnit 5 I'll teach. 4 and 5. 3 outdated, sir. 3 no one is using. Are you going to teach Redis also? Redis as a cache and Redis as a database. Both. Yeah, microservice separate project will be there. You are not eligible as of now. I'll show readme, that is how to create .yml file later. Once you start coding part, you will understand. Mohan, if just go through this playlist video, Spring Core videos are there. Just go through that. You will understand there. real-time project still not started. Once it started but your batch is not eligible. Someone who already completed for them project. MongoDB also will cover. JMS also cover. JMS, Apache, Kafka, ActiveMQ will be covered. Log4j purpose different, Redis purpose different. Both you can't compare. Redis is a database, Log4j is a logging tool. Okay, if you want to get messages and all, logging concept will be there. Redis is a database and cache. Both are different. You can't compare them. Their purpose is different. Okay, if you don't know all this, you can just go through my YouTube videos there, or use are explained, or else wait until that concept comes. Yes, microservice, all complete concepts will be covered. You can just go through that content, you will get all. No, I won't cover Microsoft Azure. Kafka also will be provided. Kafka only latest, that is only provided. Certification of course, you better contact admin Srikanth. They will provide the details. Certificates, I don't know. Subject wise, you can ask. Demo sessions will be 1 hour only. Actual sessions will be 1.5 hours. Okay, it's like introduction session only. Tomorrow also one more introduction session. Then we are going to get into actual sessions one by one. Okay, these are actual classes started, but I'm just taking 1 hour session only. Every day 7:10 I'll start 7:10 a.m. I'll be taking up to 8:40 a.m. No recorded videos are provided, sir. No recorded videos. Microservice concepts complete course content is there. Please just go through and check 28th day, or else I'll post it again. Okay. You can just even ask HR at Naresh IT. They'll provide the course content even. You can contact to admin Srikanth for payment and all details actually here. His number also I'll provide here. Any non-technical questions you have, you can ask him. 6302-968-665. Payment is 5,000, sir. Facebook link is there. You can just take it. Duration is 3.5 months. Okay. Contact admin Abdullah if that is the case. Okay. If you want something like non-technical things, bash shifting and all, contact admin. Okay. Tanuja, you just continue attending sessions. You will get a mail related payments and all. You just continue attending sessions. Watch 1-2 sessions continuously. Then you just decide later everything. Okay. Project you won't understand now. You even though you attend. For you, project if you started, I'll let you know. Now you can't attend. Okay. If you attend now, it's a money waste and time waste for you. I won't even suggest now. Okay. You just continue. First learn the course. Attend this, learn the course and become perfect. I'll give some mini projects here. Then I'll explain about main project later. Then you attend. We don't do such business, sir. Actually, first you learn course. First you finish the course. Okay, at least some 70%. Then if I start any project, I'll let you know. Then I'll show what I'm going to teach in that, what you need. Then you can attend. Now, even though batch started, I won't inform to you. It's not for you because just now you started. You don't know what is Spring Boot program, how to write fast application. This course will be 3 to 3.5 months, sir. Every day 1.5 hour, 1 hour 30 minutes, 7:10 to 8:40. Okay, thank you for sessions. Continuation, same link, just join. Okay, and still if you have any questions, personal questions, send an email. Okay, so non-technical questions, contact to admin Srikanth. Okay, call to him, is going to explain something like payment related things if you have doubts and all. Thank you.